Hey friends, another beautiful day at Crystal Lake, another wonderful day of watching kids have fun, and how fitting, I'm just noticing, that there's a unicorn in frame with me on the day when what I reflected on this morning, and what kind of came through for me was wanting to reflect on and just kind of celebrate the experience of unbridled joy that I have been witnessing in my daughter and her cousins, and in a weird way also in myself. You know, we're coming to kind of the end of the intense portion of family reunion time that we kind of allocated for that purpose, and it has been spectacular. I've had this real feeling of connection and rekindling certain relationships in ways that it's been quite a while since I've felt that with this many of my family members who all share this place. But where my impulse to talk about this came from, it really started when I was watching, I watched my daughter and her cousins, both of them, but especially her cousin Claudia. We watched the fireworks on July 5th, because July 4th was a rainy day, so they did the fireworks on July 5th, and they did this beautiful fireworks show right out on the lake. They actually launched them from a boat, and so you could go out into the lake and watch the fireworks right overhead. It was absolutely gorgeous, and I sat there and watched Claudia and Annalise laugh hysterically for the entire duration of the fireworks. It was clearly I don't know for Claudia, it was Annalise's first experience of going to a fireworks display. And what a great one to view it from a boat with her favorite people in the world. It was just a really wonderful experience, and watching them laugh together. And then they kind of build momentum. So like they're laughing, and then the goal becomes to laugh more. So then they laugh more, and they kind of like force their laugh, and then that forced laugh makes the other one laugh at the fact that they're forcing the laugh, and then they're laughing for real again. It's this kind of like, it was just a wonderful thing to watch, and it reminded me, it really kind of drove home for me, it evoked some memories for me of what this place has felt like over the years, just what it feels like when I come here. Howdy. And what I have also kind of, and so watching that, sorry, there's people walking through the room, that's why I spaced out for a moment. Translating my memories of what I have kind of experienced here, and just my own, what it has felt like to resonate with this place over the years, what it means to show up here, what it means to travel here. These are all experiences that I remember so vividly, and there's this little burst of joy that comes out of me still, even at this age, when I start to get near the house. And this time, as we drove up the very first night, Annalise was doing this kind of enactment, or like a dramatization of the experience of getting closer, because she kept asking how many minutes, we're looking at Google Maps, so it's like, how many minutes away are we? And every time we said a lower number of minutes, she would screech a little louder and like maintain this kind of screeching, like, joy sound right up until we pulled in the driveway. And it was such a great encapsulation of what it feels like to arrive at a place like this. And and I think, you know, this is something that I really have. I'm grateful to have kind of inherited this, because I think it's a place that this family has always traveled to feel joy. It has been a place for joy. And I'm having a really powerful experience of gratitude for what that has meant in my life. That's one of the things that's showing up, is what has it done to know that this to my life, even when I'm not here? What has it done to my life? What does it continue to do to my life? To know that there's a place of total joy. And what does that do? You know, how has it framed and how has it begun to already really have an influence on Elisa's life? You know, knowing that she has this connection, and knowing that I've talked about it for the last couple of days, you know, that this place is just in her blood. It has felt like since the moment she walked in here, she kind of had a sense of, oh, I get it. This is a place to play. This is a place to be joyful. This is a place to lean into what I love. And I've had some interesting chats with family members where there's this weird thing that happens when we're in a place that is all about the joy of life, which is that portions of ourself come out, and aspects of ourself come out that are really, actually, if we take them seriously, potentially life-altering / life-guiding. They can, you know, like, this is a very strange example of this, but one of my cousins was talking about how he told this story at a family storytelling event, and he talked about this. They used to do these fights. They used to have, like, cousins would get together and, like, fight, like, in a structured way. It wasn't like they were actually, like, hurting each other. I mean, they probably were hurting each other, but they weren't, like, you know, it was like a managed, low-key fight club kind of thing. And so he told the story, and I was like, wait, but aren't you like a boxing? Isn't that? It turns out he's in boxing ticketing. And I was like, are you kidding? So that's again a very strange example of this, but there's something about our natural, leaning into our joy, leaning into our natural kind of, this is what I do when you give me a place of total freedom and a place of where I can simply follow my bliss, follow my joy. The relationship between that and then what we do in our life is actually a tight one. That's actually, there's a real connection there, and we can learn part of decoding. You know, I'm always talking about decoding the universe. Decoding the universe happens in joy. Decoding ourselves happens in joy, because joy is ultimately our natural state. Ananda, as the yogis say, it's the first layer of experience to come into manifestation. Beyond Ananda, it dissolves into the unmanifest. So the first thing, the most fundamental layer of consciousness that can be conscious is joy. So when a place that can take us there, or a place that allows us to lean into that, it gives us a really deep snapshot of ourselves. It gives us a real look at who we are. And that's certainly my experience over the last, throughout my life of this place. And it's something that, as I become conscious of that, this is something that has been happening all my life, and I have not always been that conscious of it. But as I become conscious of it, it also becomes something that I really feel I can be on the lookout for now. You know, I can pay attention to that as I'm here, and as I allow myself to kind of lean into this place, I can give myself over to that in a really nice way. So that's where I landed today, folks. Thanks for watching. So much love. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you tomorrow.